All right, so my name is Josh Flores, and for my final project, I created a business scraper website. So the business scraper website circles through like all the businesses within I made it a 40 mile radius. So within those 40 miles, it will use the Google API key to find all the businesses in that area, and then it will extract the emails from the websites. By doing that, it will go into each website, and then I have a query string, or not a query string, uh, what is it called? Regex string that will find the strings. But so first off, let's go ahead and look into this project planning board. So as you can see, the first week, which was back in May 29th, was just planning the project. During the project planning period, we defined the scope, the selection between MongoDB and MySQL, designed the database structure, and set up the database. During this time, I selected MySQL as my database, and I had a little hiccup connecting my database to my script, so I really just switched the database design and the scripts in between. So I really integrated the database design somewhere in the C# script development. But let's go ahead and just go through this how I set it up. So the next week was 6/11, and that was whenever I set up my C# script development. During this time, I made a console app that created the script that my web will run, my ASP.NET framework. So what I did was I created a console app that, let me see, I'll pull it up for you. So it's, oh nope, that's the wrong one. It is Email Scraper. This is what it's called, I believe. Yes. So the program.cs is the main core file that we'll call the business scraper and the email scraper right here. So then we would enter our latitude and longitude, and then the location, which I took off just to have a hard set of 40 miles radius. And then, yes. So then our business scraper goes to Google APIs that finds the businesses. So if the page has a token, a next page token, it will also loop through the next page. If not, it will just end, and then it will get the responses. And then this is the fetch business website. So then now we loop through the pages and find the business IDs, or the place IDs. Business ID, same thing. So then once we have the business IDs, we turn the business IDs into websites. Then we scrape the web for the email addresses. As you can, this is the email, the regex string right here. And then once that's done, we print it in our main console app. So I will just go ahead and give this a little shot real quick. So really what I like to do is go to Google Maps. So then once you go to Google Maps, let's just go to just Macon, somewhere in Macon. So you just copy that, and then you do this. And then I found 60 businesses, and now it just keeps going through. So like I said, it goes through the businesses first, then it starts scraping the email addresses. So let's go ahead and start up the website, because since I did have it running locally on my machine, or I have the scripts running on the web server, it takes a lot longer rather than, doing it locally, then sending the data up. But so as you can see, this is our welcome.aspx. So welcome to the business emails. This is the welcome page for my business application. And then you just press go to business page. And as you can see, find business emails near me. This project will allow you to find emails of local business within a 40-mile radius, approximately. And then we ask for the coordinates. So then, uh, let's go for a random one. So let's go with Dallas. Oops. So we put a point. Don't know what happened. Oh, okay. Oh, I have to select it. So then, okay, South Dallas. These are the coordinates. Okay, coordinates going in now. So this will run, and then it takes about, I'd say, approximately 5 minutes. So while that's running, I'll go ahead and go through the project stuff. So like I said, we developed the C# script, integrated database. So the database is right here. This is my database set up right now. So we have the businesses and the email tables inside my emails DB. So if you do a select, where's the star from businesses. So logically speaking, it uploads to businesses first, then it goes to emails. So since the program is running right now, we should be able to see some data. So as you can see, we have two columns. We have the name, which is really the business ID, and then we have the websites. So that translates the websites to emails. And then here's our email. And then we hit F5. Here are our email addresses. All right, so that makes sense. The structure isn't really very complex because I'm using just a very regular database. I'm not storing any passwords, credentials, or anything like that. So encryption or hashing isn't really applicable. All right. So then the testing. So my project planning board isn't really up to date. I originally was going to write it in Python and use the Django, but at my work, we use ASP.NET framework, so I felt like this was going to be a very good experience. So I tested the C# scripts and the ASPX files, and then I ensured that it can successfully store in the database. Then we developed the website. Okay, so then now let's go into our fun stuff. So here's my solution project for the website. So I have it going to the welcome.aspx page first. So this is it. I would use React, but I felt like CSS would be more appropriate for the time crunch we're in. So as you can see, we have just basically CSS, and then we have our classes and buttons. So then once you press the button, the business to something, I forget what it was called, it redirects you to the webform.aspx. Then once you get to the web form 1, you can see pretty much the same thing, except we have a little bit more divs, stuff like that. So now let's take a good depth inside of our ASPX code. So our ASPX code is pretty much our controller, and that controls the business scraper CS and then the email scraper CS. So once the button was clicked, you can see this process emails. Button was clicked, starting process. And then this is where, this really doesn't need to be in there. I was troubleshooting, so I wanted to have, let me see if that's still integrated in the code. Okay, so my code is finished, but before we get into that, so yeah, okay, so I do have it. So business was starting. So this is the SQL connection string. So since my database is running locally, you won't be able to run it on the website, or you'll be able to run the website, but you'll probably it'll get spit out a lot of errors saying that it has not found any businesses, or it might just be in a forever loop. So then we wait the connection. So then once we establish connection, we get the string from the input text box. Then we go for a for loop for each string place IDs. Then we find the URL, and then we insert the values into SQL. Then after that, we get our command. So the select distinct email addresses from emails. The distinct helps not populate the grid slash table with duplicate emails. So then our email scraper goes through everything pretty much, and then actually let's go with the business scraper first. So the business scraper uses the API key, and then the location, the radius is right here, which is 20 miles or 40 miles, not sure off the top of my head. So then we get this pretty much just loops through everything. This does exactly the same thing as the console app did. So no need to go in depth there. And then it's the email scraper uses the business scraper. And then we go through every web page and then go through the pages and see if we can find an email string. Then it goes back to the web page, runs the query, and then this is where we're at. Right here. You can see all of these, and then these are Georgia ones. Yeah, we gotta work on that. And then these are just Dallas emails, youremail.com, which wouldn't be anything. So the reason I created this project was I wanted to start an IT business consulting business. And with that, I didn't want to pick up the phone calling each person saying I'm a new business owner and I want to do this, or I can do this and I can do that. I wanted to just send out a mass email and then maybe using a Python script to say, hey, customer name, I'm Josh Flores, IT consultant. If you need any IT needs, help desk, pen testing, some software, etc., because I do have friends who do a lot of things like that, just give me a call. So that is how I developed this project. And just to show you that everything updates, so here are the emails. Then yes, that is it. So I hope you enjoyed my demo. I try to make it quick, so I know you have a lot of students to go through, and my project demo is 52 pages or 54. So thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Goodbye.